Welcome back to another video. Jason here. When last we met, I was telling you that I was home in Vegas for 3 days, and I was, but now I'm not. I just left our yard in North Las Vegas, which, by the way, if Disneyland is the happiest place on earth, North Las Vegas is the second happiest place on earth. But I digress. I picked up a trailer that's already loaded, and this load is going to Montana, Great Falls. So if it's called Great Falls, I guess there's waterfalls there like Niagara. Are there any other famous waterfalls in the world? Because I can only name one, Niagara Falls. Victoria, is there something called Victoria Falls? Maybe. I think it's in Canada. My knowledge of geography is limited, to say the least. Anyway, the directions are pretty easy. Just take I-15 all the way. When you get to Great Falls, you take that exit and there it is. So there's really two directions. I-15 and then take the exit. And by the way, here's I-15 north to Salt Lake City. There's some dude walking with a safety vest. Safety first. So at this point, it's about 5:20 a.m. and I'm waiting for the sun to come up. Now look, one day I'm gonna get y'all a nice beautiful shot of the sun rising over the mountains in the desert. But it's not that easy, because it's gotta be the exact right time of day, and I gotta be driving in the exact right direction, and I gotta have the exact right camera shot and camera angle. So I can do it, but today wasn't going to be the day, so y'all keep watching. So anyway, once the sun did come up, I got to see it. You didn't. I pulled into the Flying J in Mesquite, Nevada, because I really needed to get fuel, and I really needed to use the bathroom, and I really needed a breakfast burrito. And if you saw my last video, you know what else I really needed. Wait for it. Wait for it. Bingo. There was like some tree sap or something. And look, does this happen to y'all? Whenever you get like a bird messing on your windshield, or a tree sap, or a bug the size of Texas, it always lands right in front of my eyes. Not on the bottom or the top or off to the side, right in my field of vision, right in front of my eyes. So I have to stare at that bug or whatever. In this case, it was tree sap, but hey, look, nothing that we can't handle, right? So I got it all done, and you know, headed back on the road, I-15 north, and I got to see the pretty mountains in Utah. Look at that. They finally have snow on them, and the people of Utah rejoice.
They all ask for you. I went on down to the Audible Zoo, and they all ask for you. They all ask for you. For who? Well, they even inquired about you. I went on down to the Audible Zoo, and they all ask for you. The monkey's ass, the tiger's ass, and the elephant asked me too. Boom, 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 biddy-bidoo, boom, 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 biddy-bidoo, boom. Hey, lapa, red beans and rice, Creole gumbo. I went on up to the big old sky, and they all asked for you. For who? They all asked for you. Well, they even inquired about you. I went on up to the big old sky, and they all asked for you. The ducks asked, the eagles asked, and the buzzard asked me.
Fish drippings. Borrow Millers and tomato paste.
Good. Put our hands together. I went on down to the deep blue sea, and they all asked for you. They all asked for you. Well, they even inquired about you. I went on down to the deep blue sea, and they all asked for you. The shark asked, the whale asked, and the barracuda asked for you. They all asked for you. They all asked for you. Everybody there, they want to know where. They all asked for you. They all asked for you.
Hey, you got to do something to pass the time, right? So I drove through Utah and made it a good ways into Idaho and stopped in Idaho Falls at the Flying J and spent the night there and had a pretty comfortable night. So in the morning I get up and I tell you what, the good thing about starting early like I do at 3:30 in the morning, you generally have the bathroom to yourself. I've been in bigger bathrooms with like 7 stalls, and every one of them had a truck driver in it. You can imagine the sounds and smells coming out of there while you're trying to brush your teeth. No bueno. So I get ready and I get myself looking nice and neat, and I get my station looking spick and span for the cleaning lady or cleaning guy. And after that, it's out to the truck to do my pre-trip. Okay, so after all of that, I get on the road. I wanted to leave at 4 a.m. and it was 4:15, so I was mad at myself. But I got happy real quick because check it out. The weather's good, the roads are good, and that makes me happy. So anyway, it's about a 5.5 hour drive from Idaho Falls to Great Falls. Yeah, you see the overpass? Go look at my last video. All right, don't get me started. Anyway, 5.5 hour drive ahead of me. I got good weather, I got good roads, so I feel like I'm sitting pretty. But my luck was soon going to run out. Yeah, there we go. So this video picks up with me talking about a four-wheeler. All right, well, we got around that guy. I was just gonna stay behind him, but he put his flashers on. It's sort of like a pet peeve. We're the only 2 vehicles on the highway. It's pitch black. He's got his bright lights on. But for some reason, four-wheelers think that the only way we can see them is if their flashers are on. It's like, well, why would you think that we can see your flashing lights but can't just see your regular running lights? So I can't be behind a guy with his flashers on, you know, forever. So I passed him up, and of course he wouldn't turn his bright lights off. He's still behind me. I see him in my mirrors with his bright lights on. But man, the wind is blowing. Look at this. There are no tracks. I've got just a blanket of white snow. And this is intense, man. See, this is why a lot of guys don't start early in the morning, because this would be way better during the daylight hours, and also the plows would have come to clean it off. But here I am, again, golly. Here I am, no plows, so it's just one big wide highway as far as I'm concerned. Oh, there's a plow guy on the other side of the road, as usual. Hey, why don't you do my side of the road once? Just once. One time. Is that too much to ask? So I drove through this for a while, and it's bad, but at least it wasn't snowing, the wind wasn't blowing, it was just snowy roads. But man, my luck was gonna go from bad to worse, because all of a sudden it started snowing and the winds were blowing hard, and normally it just blows the snow across the surface of the road, but now it was whipping the snow up to where it was almost like a fog of snow. I couldn't see anything. Check this out. Whoa. Man, the camera doesn't do it justice, but the snow and the winds, I couldn't see more than, say, 30 feet in front of me. I was scared, like legitimately scared. And there's nothing you could do. You just hold on and pray for the best. And that's what I did. So the sun came up and the roads got a little better for a little while. But next thing you know, I found myself in some mountain pass in Montana. And it's 20 after 9 and they still haven't plowed it. At least not parts of it. But I gotta say, it was gorgeous. So I'm just gonna let the camera roll. Y'all check this out. So once we got through all of that, the roads got better and better till eventually they were dry. So I was in a good mood because I was cruising down my dry roads and making up time. But little did I know my luck was about to change because I was getting ready to get to Helena, Montana. Man, I had to take a little break for a little while. It's been 3.5 hours of just treacherous driving from the snow to the ice, mountains. Just when I thought I was out of it, I got to Helena, Montana, and the winds picked up so heavy that, I mean, it was 2 hands on the wheel, everything it takes to keep it between the lines. It kind of wears you out. After an hour, then 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours pass of just that kind of driving, intense. You just got to get out, stretch your legs, walk around the truck. Gives you a good opportunity to do an inspection, make sure everything's looking good. tires, lights, and everything. Yeah, so this is Montana. Not too snowy, but there was spots back there where it was feet of snow that had fallen. It's cold. I think I'm gonna get back in the truck. I don't need to take too much of a break. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let the camera roll now. It looks like we got the shaky camera thing fixed, at least for now. So y'all go ahead and enjoy the scenery, and if this isn't your thing, feel free to skim past this part. So I kept driving and I got to my stop at, I don't know, probably 10 a.m. But there was a problem. They couldn't get to it. In fact, they couldn't unload my trailer till the next day at after 3 p.m. So I basically had 2 days off. So, oh man, what a nightmare. I don't get paid for that either. So I was bored in the truck and decided to answer a question that's been popping up lately. Alright, I have some time to kill, and I've gotten a question a couple of times lately about what is a jake brake, how does a jake brake work, blah blah blah. So what I did, okay, I made this great drawing. Now I'm no mechanic and I'll get some technical terms wrong and I'll whatever, but this is the general idea. Okay, you've got an engine and you've got a cylinder and a piston. You've heard of a 4-cylinder, or 8's a V8 or whatever, and you've heard of pistons. So the piston is inside of the cylinder and it goes up and down. Now you've heard of maybe a 4-stroke engine or a 2-stroke engine. Usually like a lawnmower is a 2-stroke engine. A 4-stroke engine, I'll explain it, and that's the key to the jake brake. Okay, so the first stroke is the piston goes down, which draws air into the cylinder. Think of, I don't know, maybe some of my viewers like to shoot up heroin. Think of a syringe. The plunger goes down and draws in air or whatever. That's what's happening here. So, and by the way, if you're shooting heroin, time to lose the habit, right? Call me, we'll call the intervention TV program. I'll go and, you know, we'll do it. We'll get your life straight. You ever watch that show? What a mess. I used to watch it, but there was just too many relapses. What am I going to watch an hour show and at the end the guy's using again? What's the point of watching the show? I want to be happy at the end, you know. And then they have the intervention. They corner the guy. He's in some room and they've got his family and everybody's got to read a letter. Okay, you got to write a letter telling him how his habit is affecting you and all of this stuff. And the mom's in there, she's bawling her eyes out. She's got her paper. She's like, oh, Todd, when you were a little boy, you were so happy and full of life, and to see what you become. And she's just crying on. And we got to go around the room, and everybody's got to read their letter, and it's just this circle of lachrymose sentimentality for us to pour over like emotional porn. Who would want to put that on TV? It's like your family drama, you know, and we're just I don't know, you know, one day I hope like it just blows up and, you know, just turns into chaos like a Jerry Springer show, and Todd's like, you know what, you're the reason I started using, Mom and Dad, because then I can never be perfect like Ashley. And Ashley's like, you don't know what it was like to get straight A's and be so perfect, huh? And then Dad chimes in. He goes, oh, it was hard on your sister. Remember when she got braces, all the kids made fun of her. Dad! She runs out of the room, and Dad's like, damn it, Todd, you've upset your sister. And he's running after her, and Todd's like, oh, to hell with all y'all. That would get me to watch. But anyway, all right. Stroke 1. Piston goes down, air goes in. Stroke 2, piston goes up and compresses the air that's in there. And if it's a gas engine, a little bit of fuel is injected, fuel injection. And a spark plug sparks that fuel and causes an explosion. Compressed air, explosion, it drives the piston down. In a diesel, there's no spark plug. It just compresses so tight that the diesel spontaneously combusts and drives the piston down for stroke 3, which we'll call combustion. All right, intake, draws air in, compression, compresses the air, combustion, drives the piston down, and in the fourth stroke, the piston goes back up and pushes the exhaust out. And the cycle starts over. Well, while all of this is happening, it's turning something, I think it's called a crankshaft. And the crankshaft is hooked to the transmission, and that's got gears and synchronizing plates and whatever. And the transmission turns something called the drive shaft, which turns some gears, which turns the spinning this way, it turns it this way, and turns the wheels. Well, what happens with the Jake brake is you've got intake compression, but no diesel gets injected in there. So the compression just goes up, and then it just exhausts out, and then it goes down for a dead part of the cycle and back up for another dead part of the cycle. But what's moving it up and down is the momentum of the truck and the wheels. Now the wheels are turning, and it's working in reverse because you don't have the explosion driving the piston down. The wheels are doing it via the momentum of the truck, which causes lag, because now the cart is driving the horse, so to speak, and it slows the truck down without actually having to use the brakes. So that's how the Jake brake works. I think they call it that because the guy who invented it is named Jacob. So it's the Jake brake. How convenient that it rhymes. So anyway, I hope this clears some of it up, and I hope I got it mostly right. It's mostly right. I know it's mostly right. I mean, some of my technical terms, I wish I was a mechanic and maybe I could explain it better, but there you go. So here I am, fleeing Montana. I got loaded with a whole trailer full of talc powder, and I'm heading to Colorado. So on the way out, it's across Montana on I-90, and then head south on I-25, clear across Wyoming into Colorado, where I'll deliver the following morning. Man, I'm exhausted. I don't know. It's been one of those trips, just, oh man, I can't wait for this one to be over. So anyway, I got my new camera. Y'all can tell it's not too shaky. One of those little knockoff GoPro deals. But I don't know, it seems to be doing the trick. This is the first footage I shot with it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave y'all with some sights of Montana before we wrap this thing up. Well, I drove all day, and I'm tired. I'm tired of driving, that's for sure. I ran out of hours, so I stopped here at Dwyer Junction rest area in Wyoming. So tomorrow morning, I have about a 2-hour, 45-minute drive to get to my delivery, and that's it. This trip is complete. So why don't we go ahead and call this video complete? It's already dragged on long enough. Speaking of that, this channel is still kind of a work in progress. This is only my 3rd video. Not everybody likes everything, so I'm trying to include a little bit of everything for everybody, if that makes sense. So bear with me while I kind of work on it and get better at it. I got my new camera, so hopefully that'll help with some of the driving shots, and we'll kind of figure this thing out together. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and until the next time, this is Jason signing out.